Where are we, Frau?
We're in Sicily.
Yeah?
Yeah. And we're looking at a Doric temple, a Greek Doric temple.
Dork? A Dork temple?
Doric.
Doric. Oh, not Dork. Doric.
And Selinunte. I think it's Selinunte.
Segesta.
We're in Segesta. You're right. So we're close to Trapani. And we're on the south, or the northwestern side of the island of Sicily.
Yep.
And this is our first stop.
So we have a Greek temple here. It was never finished, right?
No, it wasn't, because they were fighting with the other people and couldn't finish it.
Right. It looks pretty finished, but you know, it was never quite finished. And there's a theater here, and there's some in a little town or something.
And there's wild dogs.
And well, not wild.
Some are wild.
No, they're just loose.
Wandering.
So this is a Greek temple, probably 5th or 6th century BC, very early. It was to Apollo. And I think what's interesting is it's huge, by the way. I mean, it's about 70 meters long, maybe, and about 30 meters tall. But you can see kind of the typical big outer building, and then here you can see the sort of inner sanctum of, you know, maybe where they had Apollo's statue or whatever. But they say that if you want to see Greek ruins, the best place to do it is in Sicily, not necessarily Greece. So in Greece they all get destroyed, but here in Sicily they sort of remained. And the Greek ruins are interspersed with Roman stuff, which is interspersed with Arabic stuff because the Arabs were here. There's Norman stuff. And then sort of conquering Christian stuff. It's all kind of blended together. So we're here.
Yeah.
What we thought is interesting is how small the houses seem to be.
Yeah, really tiny.
You can, you know, I mean, you can see this. I'm guessing this would be somebody's house.
Yeah. Well, they're all lined up that way.
About 2.5 meters wide by about 4 meters long. So maybe 10 feet by 20 feet. Tiny little thing. There's another one here. You know, it's barely enough room for, but they, you know, they'd have a whole family in there. And I don't know what this is. This might be somebody's house here too. You know, it's just that small.
This was a flourishing community, 600 BC.
Right, 6th century BC, yeah.
6th century BC.
Yeah, so.
And it's Selinunte, I guess is how it's pronounced.
Selinunte.
And we're in Sicily, and the sea is right here.
Yeah, the ocean's out there, and the temple's sort of in the background over there. This is the Acropolis, and it's all kind of Greek stuff. But it's just amazing how small these rooms are.
When you walk this way,
Or houses. Yeah.
This way.
Yep. This is sort of outside the city walls, but seems to be a big structure and temple here. Here's the city walls right there. They're 10 meters tall and 4.5 meters thick. So quite big and ponderous. But then outside here, you have some other stuff going on. It's really cool. So, Frau, where is we?
We're in Sicily, and we're in Agrigento, which is in the south end of Sicily. So you can see we're right at the sea, and we're also in the valley of the temples.
Yeah, so we're kind of up on this hill. There's a little valley kind of in between where we are, and then there's a valley kind of on the other side.
It's a huge temple complex.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's just a whole bunch of them. So it's about 1 kilometer long.
Yeah.
It's all Greek stuff.
Greek.
But it's been interspersed, right, with sort of early Christian necropolis stuff. But this is the Temple of Juno. This is the highest one up the hill. It's kind of cool.
It's been awesome.
Awesome. Plus we had good pizza last night, right?
We did.
Yeah. So this is the town of Noto, which is a nice, beautiful city. Which is great because we just came back from a town called Syracuse, which was less than great. But this is probably our 4th or 5th UNESCO World Heritage Site this weekend, right?
Yeah. This is in the southeastern corner of the island of Sicily, and it's a city that it just had a huge earthquake in the 1600s, and so they rebuilt it in the Baroque style. And it's a little ragged around the edges, but it's still very beautiful.
Yep. There's the big church. Hey, baby, where are we?
Well, we are in Sicily in a town called Taormina. That's the Ionian Sea. There's Mount Etna.
Smoking as always.
Smoking. And this is the second largest ancient theater in Sicily after the one in Syracuse. It was built in the 3rd century BC. And in the 2nd century AD, the Romans almost totally rebuilt it.
Okay, yeah, that explains the brickwork.
They're still using it today, as if you see down there, they're setting up for the next theater season.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is astoundingly beautiful here. It's quite a hike, about a 20-minute hike for us to go up from the train station, climbing our way up to this bluff.
Yeah.
But it's worth it for the views and all of the coolness.
Yeah. I think this is the famous picture, is sort of the house on the hill with the Greek theater there. I think that's the one that you see on all the postcards. But it's definitely Greek, but then you see all the brickwork down there, and the Romans were the ones who used the bricks.
Yeah.
So that was my first impression. It's like, wait a minute, this doesn't look right.
They did that in the 2nd century AD, but the Greeks built this in the 3rd century BC.
BC, yeah. And then you can kind of see, I think, up on that hill, this is not the highest town around, not even by a long shot. There's a town that's way up there. I don't know if this camera can zoom or not. I don't think it does. It'd be nice if it did.
If you look over there, you can see mainland Italy, too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's mainland Italy. Messina, the port town, is up the coast from here. So this is really cool. This is nice. Cool, huh? What's interesting is the combination of the Arab Muslim tile work and the stonework and the ceiling, but with the Christian theme. So it's a strange but beautiful combination of well, it makes sense. So there's Norman. This is the Norman palace, and it was, but the artisans were also Muslims or Arabs. So it's a beautiful place.
Yeah. Did you say where we are?
No, we're in Palermo. We're in Palermo. So there's up there. I know Bethany loves it. There's Paul being baptized. There's Paul getting his being led down in the basket from Antioch. And then you have this very Arab floor. Cool, eh? Okay, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get all of this in, but I'm going to give it a try. This is the church of Monreale above Palermo. This is a Norman 12th century church that's again a combination of sort of Christian influences and the wealth of the Normans with the gold mosaics, but it's also got the Arab Muslim tile work, which is almost as beautiful. So here we go. Pictures actually depict stories from the Bible, starting at the top level there, this spot here with Adam and Eve talking to God. God telling Adam and Eve about the forbidden fruit. Between the windows there, they're negotiating with the devil. They're covering themselves with leaves. Kicked out of the garden, etc. And below that is the story of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But it's all done with millions and millions of golden mosaic tiles. And then the ceiling is this beautifully painted gold leaf with, I forget the name of that color. Beautiful, 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 this church is. It's huge. It's from one end to the other. It's probably 90 meters long. It's probably 35 meters tall. And the entire upper floor is golden mosaic. The only thing that could rival this is St. Mark's in Venice. But you see the mosaic up there, millions of little tiles. But then you come down here and you see the Muslim tile work, because the Muslims are not allowed to make pictures of things, because that would be forbidden by the Quran. And so they were the magicians of making beautiful patterns from tiles. There's a beautiful wooden, looks like walnut, professional. It's hard to believe. You got to see it to believe it.